And hello! Welcome! Hi!
Oh, it feels like it's been so long!
It's been 2 whole fucking weeks. We missed last week because...
It feels like even longer than 2 weeks. I'm like, dang!
Yeah! I was kind of expecting this. If we hadn't missed last week, this week would be the week where I'm like, y'all better get ready for the game to go from good to great. You thought it had already gone from good to great. Nah! Now it's going from good to great. I mean, it's still good. So.
Oh no, I just realized I need to... I didn't put my, push to talk.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll just do that real fast.
Yeah, it's... Going through menus is not that big of a deal. I've been listening to the soundtrack a whole bunch while I've been playing grinding in Grand Blue because it's Guild War.
There we go.
I actually like listening to the music
It's
and
fixed.
not just having it be in the background. It's actually really amusing how many songs are just leitmotiv.
Ah,
Oh shit!
one
hang
of
on.
those.
I gotta swap my A and B on my controller as well.
That's been my experience when I've been listening to Umi Neko's soundtrack when I was Neil Felting and stuff. It's like there's so many leitmotifs, and then when I hear the leitmotifs when new tracks come up, and I'm like, whoa, journal.
There we go. So, to all of you who may not remember,
We got a lot of side stories to get through.
last time, we had finally managed to evacuate everyone from Star Shard Beacon, all the way from Star Shard Beacon to the main beacon, at the cost of a couple of lives.
Noxastasia's fucking dead, and yet she's here.
When we
Her
made it
first
there,
side
Noxastasia
story
got
is
fucking
here.
murdered. We made it through a little bit more of the story after we went to main beacon. We unlocked a couple of side stories as soon as we arrived, but then I was like, no, before we do those side stories, I gotta do a little bit more main story. Specifically so that we could have the reveal that Tini Lori is not a real person,
She's a doll,
but
literally.
is in fact a small doll that Fancia used as company because everyone else that she knew had left to be either become or already were Arbor Rangers.
Man.
But as you can see, next main story is a crucial plot, so if I were to do this, all of these side stories will be missed. I also want to note, ignoring the fact that we also, last time we did the Tenia side, the final chapter of the Tenia side story as well. You look at this, and 3 of the people whose side stories we were doing are dead.
Are dead. So what's with this?
So,
Wait, who's the third dead one? Noxastasia. And
Tenia is dead by not being alive in the first place.
Oh. And then Intimi.
And then Intimia's die. Now we have green-haired deity 3. Here she is, it's Yuya. Breeze moss, though common, has resulted in very little research being done on it, because the plant is too small, difficult to cultivate, and of no practical value. However, in the scant few studies, it's been noted that this plant has completely different base structure than the other plants in Elixirland. Although they look similar, they are internally very different, belonging to different substances, just like ice versus glass.
As in, like, this is a meta character.
This is an alien creature.
Oh, jeez.
You think that Yuya is just another Illuminator, but it's an entirely different thing.
Spooky.
Mm-hmm. Back in the main beacon, Fancy is wandering through the once bustling market. Now, there's nobody around. Only fragments of wooden crates, cracked soil, and scattered posters, reminding Fancy of vibrant days of the past.
I remember in the dream that I met a diviner named Yuya. She claimed to be a deity. I asked her to tell me Lumina's past. Then I had a dream within a dream.
Inception horn goes
Inception.
here.
Bong!
Oh, man. Inception's such a funny movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, even
used
if
to
you
really
follow
like
the
it.
made-up rules, it doesn't fucking make sense.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, dreams can happen faster than in reality because actually our brains are just running faster while we're dreaming. Understandable. Also, if you have a dream within a dream, that speed compounds. How?
It just does.
It does. It can't run faster. We've already established that the first dream is using 100% of our power.
Yeah.
But I feel like having like the dream and the dream being more like being more vague and all of that works everything, but the speed difference detail is just like, that's, come on, you could have kept all of the rest of the weird stuff and not have the time thing be an issue.
Well,
Having the time be consistent among all of them actually would be cooler.
They'd have to change the whole, like, deeper plot, because that had everything to do with it.
Yeah, the few little details, but I feel like they still could have, like, just changing the way that timing works would have been not as big of a deal.
I guess.
It's just very silly.
Yeah. The dream of finding the bluebird. And there were some things about Lumina. Looking back now, maybe it's true? Yuya. Who exactly is she?
I told you, I'm a deity.
What? She can read
Mysterious
minds.
diviner well, to be fair. Oh no, she said she did think it. She can read minds. The mysterious diviner Yuya suddenly appears near Fancia. Fancia takes a closer look. There's still a dusty table in front of her, which barely counts as a stall.
Miss Yuya? Why are you here?
Hi.
The market's in a slump, but that doesn't mean I can just sit at home. Who knows if there are any passerbys in need of a divination? Like you, Fancy a dream.
I mean, the Arbor Rangers headquarters has already issued a dark critter alert. You shouldn't be hanging out outside.
Come on! I just don't like crowded places.
Weird thing for a merchant to say. Like,
It's nice to just enjoy the breeze. You've come too, haven't you?
I'm here on behalf of the Arbor Rangers.
But you're still not one of them, right?
Miss Yuya, there's something I want to ask you.
No problem. The diviner is here to answer your questions.
You know my name, and I know yours too, but have we met before? Have I ever asked you for a divination?
Of course! Wasn't the story about the bluebird pretty good? Put a lot of effort into it.
Huh? You know what happened in my dream? Wait, am I awake right now?
Fancia pinches herself so hard she bruises her face.
Oh god. Illuminators can bruise?
You really spare no strength. Don't worry, you're in reality now.
But how do you know about the dream I had in my dream?
As a deity, it isn't hard to know. Yuya's tone remains casual while Fancia's face sinks over.
I don't know who you are, but if you truly possess some special powers, why don't you use them to help everyone? If you're a deity, please save Elixirland.
Why?
I'm not obligated to do so. Yuya answers nonchalantly. A deity is immortal. Whether it's eternal darkness, everlasting daylight, a blazing inferno, even a frozen wasteland, I can survive just fine.
Then why are you here?
To observe. To observe your reactions after the revelations of fate. To observe if destiny would be altered.
I can't understand a single word she's saying. Is she really some kind of deity, or... Calm down, Fancia. She possesses unique abilities, and that's all that matters. However strange she is, I must find a way to make her help us. As long as it can help Alina a bit.
Taking a deep breath, Fancia continues.
Alright, I believe you're a deity, Miss Yuya.
Great!
Should I use any special title to address you? Something like Lord Yuya?
Lord Yuya. That's so corny. Yuya sounds just fine.
Well, Yuya, could I ask a few questions? As a believer of yours.
Believer? My believer. Sounds interesting. Ask whatever you want, but I can't guarantee I'll answer.
Okay, Yuya, which beacon are you from?
Vancia tries to break the ice. Though she isn't really good at it, she decides to go ahead. A remote and little beacon. Probably a ruin by now.
Then how do you know you're a deity?
Well, I always knew. Ever since my birth. I can hear voices in my head. They tell me things about you.
Interesting. Voices.
Yeah. Those voices also occasionally ask me questions like, how to open the save interface.
Oh my god! What does that mean? It's the fucking game devs that's so funny.
The words from a deity are just confusing, you know? But I can comprehend them. Doesn't this prove that I'm also one of the deities?
I am a game developer on the game Noctuary. What do you think Yuya's title was in the credits? So Yuya, is your divination directed by the voices in your head? Or should I say, by the deities?
Of course, but sometimes I spice them up a bit. After all, I'm quite fond of storytelling. Probably you'll see a book I publish someday.
Then how do you know you're immortal?
Can't answer that. Something only deities know. If everyone found out my secret, this world would be a total mess.
Is it even possible for everyone to be immortal using some kind of method? That's insane. Well, Yuya, can you tell me how to save Elixirland?
Can't answer that question either. However, I can tell you a little secret. Fancy a dream? Your destiny is closely tied to the future of Elixirland.
Really? Me?
I mean it.
That is what Dan would say mysteriously sometimes.
It's getting late. Just ask one more question.
Let me think. Will you please tell me what my future would be?
Of course. I'm a diviner, you know. But first, I must consult with the other deities. Beebity bubbity boo.
What's this strange language all about?
Everyone's down with it. But there's a condition.
What condition?
Fight with me. Are you up for it?
Oh!
And so when I did this the first time I played, I hadn't made it to Rose Crown.
Oh.
And so I see that, and I'm like, yeah, boss battle side quest! And then the quest just wasn't there.
Oh no, that's when you were like, no! Right.
So I was like, yeah! Opened the menu, no! Due to the uniqueness of breeze moss, it has been hypothesized not to be a native plant of this world, but rather coming from beyond the world. As to what that world looks like, and how breeze moths traveled across the world to arrive in Elixirland, it's completely in the realm of the esoteric. There hasn't been any explanation given by Illuminators that makes any kind of perfect sense. Alright, it's combat time.
So I think you said this is not like an Elizabeth Persona 3 kind of super boss?
No. This is a really easy fight, actually. Why are you seeking a diviner using such a busy time? I don't remember you being so superstitious, Vancia.
Yuya, the one we met in the dream. Don't you remember?
I've already forgotten nearly everything about the dream.
Uh-oh. She claimed to be a deity.
It's definitely a scam, no doubt. You trying to sell you some kind of lucky charm or something?
I swear she's not one of those scammers. She's just a bit strange. She said she'll reveal my destiny if only we fight with her, so help me out, please.
Jeez. You're gonna totally end up having a house full of fake flowers when you're older.
I won't!
Alright, just to relax.
To think humans sometimes have houses full of fake flowers on purpose.
But we're meeting at Skyladder Beacon. I haven't been here in a while.
Yeah, this has been something that's been lingering for a real long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there are dark critters lurking in the beacon.
Never mind that. The Dark Critters here are weak. But recently, Dark Critter Tide has caused many monsters from the depths of the Land of Darkness to come out, so we should be cautious. Don't worry, I've taken care of all those troublemakers. The mysterious Illuminator Yuya appears in front of the two girls.
Alina, this is Yuya.
Are you the diviner from the main beacon? I've repeated many times, I'm a deity! I've encountered plenty of Lucial Illuminators before. I don't know how you managed to deceive Fancia, but I won't be fooled. Wow, so assertive. I feel the momentum of a leader from you. Alright, here's the deal. It's alright that we're gonna fight, but once it's over, you have to come back to the beacon with us for your safety. It's too dangerous to wander around alone. Well, depends on how strong you really are. Our strength is nothing special, but defeating a deity shouldn't be much of a problem. You're quite arrogant for saying that instead of me. Alright then. Before we begin, let me show a little miracle, in case you underestimate me.
Miracle?
Watch this! Yulia snapped her fingers and suddenly... Ta-da! It feels better to fight during the daytime.
Holy shit.
What?
Holy shit.
Alina had been judgmental a moment ago, but was soon shocked by her surroundings. How is this possible?
Damn! That's pretty effective. Just like a beacon cannon. No. It's exactly the same as the sun.
Hey, what have you done? Is this an illusion? Already told you. It's a miracle. Alright.
It'll be wild if they go back and like nobody has perceived this happening.
Nobody has perceived this happening.
I figured.
Yuya is great. Her fight is very silly, but also quite simple.
She's giving you a hint for her own fight. She's giving you tips to kick her own ass.
Yup.
Ooh, she's getting ready. She's stancing up. Now you'd better believe me, Alina. She indeed has some kind of special power.
But what exactly is it? Alright, I finished flexing. Don't forget why we're here today. Fancy a dream's divination, right? I see.
You'd better keep your promise, Yuya. Alright. Whoa! She's got a giant glow stick. I like the hoedown going on. Lightsaber. What Illumiarm is this? Wait, is it really an Illumiarm?
It doesn't make any sense at all, since it's constantly changing its size.
And what exactly are those shapes? The, like, comical cartoon-ass punching glove?
Can they upgrade my Illumiarms like this? I'll ask the Eliminators in the workshop.
So funny. What did you think when you were seeing these attacks?
I thought they were hilarious. Get bopped, idiot! Ow. That's what's... Ah!
Also using different colors of light
Yep.
is pretty weird, huh? So much for the no-hit run.
Oh, it's been long since not being a good no-hit run.
Oh, I know that. I was just, like, saying the joke really late.
Ow.
Ow.
Ow again.
Wow! She really can just do whatever she wants, huh?
Oh. Oh. Mistimed that.
What the heck is that hammer?
No idea.
Is it like a... Okay. Got her!
The little when she did her little bow as you beat her, the light seemed to have been coming from a little thingy.
Oh.
You saw the little model there for a split second there again.
I guess I didn't realize I was looking at. I thought it might have been one of Fancy's attacks or something.
Nope, that's her. You defeated a deity today. By the way, what do you think about my skills? A total mess.
It's like they're all things that don't belong to this world.
Well, that's just how it is when messing around with memes.
Yuya!
As the battle came to an end, the sky above Skyladder Beacon turned pitch dark again. The daylight just now. Business secret, not for sharing. Damn it. I really want to capture her and take her back to the beacon for a thorough interrogation. Just consider it magic. The diviner surely knows a few tricks.
We've defeated you, Yuya. Can you do the divination for me now?
Of course. I've already finished it. So fast? My battle with you was my way of divining. What do you think we're doing here? Too many battle levels left unused? You're saying strange things again.
So what's the result, Yuya?
Number 7.
7, referring to what?
There are 7 paths in your destiny, each leading to a different end.
There are 7 endings?
But hey, if you can acquire the power of everyone, maybe an 8th new pass could also be a possibility.
8 endings? The power of everyone. Are you saying...
Something similar to Illuminators. Something incredibly beautiful, yet so fleeting in this world. I'm also one of them.
A firefly?
Above is the result. The rest is left for you to figure out.
A hidden path. Well, that still seemed really vague.
It's actually incredibly straightforward. She's just... Both of her divinations are actually not for her. They're for the player. The first hint is about... So, she said straight up, like, in this one, there are 8 different endings.
So there really are 8 endings.
The first... During the first divination, the little find the bluebird hint...
Mm-hmm.
On top of that whole sequence just being like, hey, here's some foreshadowing that won't make sense to you because you don't realize that this is a dream.
Oh, right.
The end result of find the bluebird, and then immediately, Alina is like, wait, wasn't that my nickname? When we get to the end of the game, there are options. So when we get to the very, like, so far, we've seen some endings, some of the bad endings, because like we just failed certain fights. When we get to the very end of the game, there are actually there are actual choices you can choose to go to one ending or go to another ending.
Oh.
In order to go towards the better ending, you need to have finished Alina's side story.
Oh.
If you can't,
So if you fucked up and had skipped one, you don't get the good ending unless you go back.
fortunately, despite the fact that you can't go back now, if we make it to the end of the game and you beat that ending, where like you make it to that ending, you choose the choice that you can't choose because that you only have the only choice because you can't choose Alina because you haven't done Alina's side story. You finish that, you get to the ending, it'll go, here's New Game Plus. Technically, you can go back to all the side stories you missed and get their rewards and then move on.
Ah.
And then this hint here that she just gave about the 8th ending is, if you do all of the side stories, there's yet another ending at the very end.
Aha.
So there's another choice even later that's just like, you can't choose this until you've done literally every side story in the game, which isn't relevant to us because we were going to do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, time to go hang out with Necrotia.
Alright.
Neon glitter is recorded in the Elixirland Plants Handbook as a plant with wonderful colors. Its petals swarm with many different colors, like flowing rainbows, and stand out in the darkness at night. Meanwhile, the conditions for neon glitter to bloom are extremely demanding. Lightning has to strike the plant directly during a thunderstorm to fill it with the power of lightning and let it present various colors.
That doesn't sound like a very good evolutionary path.
Yeah. You just gotta plant a whole bunch at like a tall field where there's normally a bunch of thunderstorms, and you just gotta hope.
Yeah.
Eventually, they'll develop like lightning rods, and that'll help. But
oh, interesting.
This is not actual lore. I'm making that up.
Oh, I thought I was gonna be on the next one or something.
No.
It's like, in order for this to make sense, they're actually really tall. Like,
no, they're just like, we're gonna come up with technology to make blooming these easier. Fancy and Alina headed to the outskirts of the main beacon to search for illuminators who had not yet been evacuated. This should have been a less difficult task, but... Hey, liar!
It was her, not me.
Can't believe you made it to the main beacon. Pretty impressive. Are you here to save Spectrica? Mainly for Madame Spectrica, but also to settle a score with you! I can't believe you fooled me last time with some nonsense about fighting equals dancing equal being able to fighting. It's an outrage! I didn't lie. I've obviously been working hard on my dance techniques.
Really?
Huh, watch this. I like to imagine
moves time.
Alina's doing like the floss or some shit.
I'm imagining her like that one breakdancing meme.
With the music and then she's like the really tiny one.
Yeah, that's like that's exactly what I'm picturing. That's exactly what I'm picturing.
I should make that. I've never made a GIF. It would be really funny to just edit the GIF, make the little tiny man Alina, the person watching Necrotia. Alina closed her eyes.
Only for you and me and like 5 other people.
Alina closed her eyes and began to wiggle her arms while chanting. Harbor Ranger Healthy Dance Part 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Stretch yourself. What is this nonsensical shaking? I'm dancing. Huh? You call that a dance?
You didn't learn the healthy dance properly. I believe this was taught in class. This is just aerobics.
I was at the end of the line, so I didn't see it clearly. I knew you were lying to me! Dancing is useless. I'm not much of a dancer, but I'm not joking. Alina tried to show an unmistakable look of determination. The stage and the battlefield are equal. That's true. Idols are just shining warriors.
This is a personal touch from a rabid fan, I guess.
Just like, don't you dare make fun of my idols. Right. Maybe dancing is indeed too specialized, but what about singing? Singing's related to fighting. Let's have a
Alina
singing
going to
showdown
CC
next
mode.
time. It's getting ridiculous. What does singing have to do with fighting? Guess you don't understand. Do you know what the essence of music is?
Huh?
Essence? Isn't just melody? Wrong! Fancia, explain it to her from an academic perspective.
Tell them, Fancia. Hey, what do you want me to explain? Also, I thought Noctuary was a DJ.
She is. Maybe. I remember my teacher talking about the similarity of sound and light. That theory.
Are you sure she'll listen?
You want to waste time fighting her? Just bamboozle her. What are you whispering about? There's no hope of sneaking up on me.
No, nothing. I'm trying to tell you that music and light are, in fact, the same in nature. Both are waves.
Waves? Like water waves?
Exactly. Music is sound waves that have a specific frequency and a specific rhythm. Our lights, on the other hand, are light waves. Controlling your voice and creating music is actually a practice of controlling your own light.
Sound waves and light waves. I think I heard the technical officer say something similar.
Cheetia!
Right. So creating music is the same thing as training for combat stances. Yeah. And if you put it that way, there's no way you could defeat me. You're not a member of a band. I could surely defeat you. I'm the one who'd memorized all 18 albums and 27 singles by Starkiss. There's no way you could beat me.
Alina! There doesn't seem to be much point in comparing.
You underestimate me. What? Are you a Starkiss fan too? Of course not. Old-fashioned lyricism and antiquated rock melodies have long since abandoned by the times. You think we don't have musical entertainment because we're light pollution? Are you? That's right! I'm the Noctuary, the new generation musician known as the Phantom Disc Master. Electronica is the way to go!
They don't call it that anymore! Now I remember. It's that noise you made from time to time inside the bass.
Yeah, it's called dubstep now. Well,
EDM?
it's just under the general banner of EDM. But electronica is now like a specific genre.
Ah.
Noise? That's called hardcore music!
I thought you were up to something. So you were creating music?
Electronic music is only made by special machines. You're just not used to it yet. I actually have a regular audience inside the base.
You mean the Illuminators who are locked up in their cells? And have no choice?
Not quite wrong about that.
No wonder so many of them had a quick change of mind and joined light pollution. Turns out you were torturing them with your music.
Attracting! I attracted them to join our team. Don't you know? This is music from the future. Good. In that case, let's make an agreement. We'll have a showdown of music next time. I'm not even lying. We'll be waiting for you in the main beacon. I'll show you my highest level of music. And I'll do my best too. Let's do it right here. See you in 3 days. Ha ha ha! Just you wait. The Crochet left. I love this idiot.
Can't believe you tricked her twice.
I love this idiot. She's great. I am kind of interested in the electronica thing she mentioned, though. Maybe it'll help Starkiss go further.
They're gonna become K-poppies. Are you still really thinking about that?
Just imagine how that music, that sounds that you were playing for the prisoners, and then it just goes to a flashback of like the prison cells, and you just hear. Not
Sandstorm! Oh no! Oh no, not Sandstorm.
And like the people who are listening to are like, I hate this, but this is actually kind of nice. But I hate this.
Thinking about what we should say to her the next time we meet.
Dance and music have all been used as excuses. How about we use stand-up comedy as an excuse next time?
Oh my god. You know how to do stand-up comedy?
It's only become popular in the main beacon the last couple of years. I've seen it once or twice.
Well, I hope I can fool Necrosha for a third time.
These days, there's been a very unpleasant noise coming from the vicinity of the main beacon. Many Illuminators were too scared to leave without permission, which actually facilitated Alina's work. Hang on, I need to adjust my microphone stand. Sorry about that. There we go.
Are you trying to make electronic music, Alina?
I forgot. What is this blessing? Yeah. Neon glitter is a legendary plant, but often is still often cited by Illuminators. Nearly every time there is a strong thunderstorm, Illuminators will report a sighting of neon glitter to the Arbor Rangers. It can be assumed that the plant itself has some sort of lightning attracting feature that ensures its ability to bloom steadily during thunderstorms.
Yeah, so it's not even a lightning rod, it's just like, lightning just likes me.
Smile.
Smile. Yeah, exactly.
Vancia had come out scouting for dark critters. There should have been nothing dangerous, but...
I have a bad feeling. This time Alina has something to tend to in the beacon and didn't come out with me. Can I handle it alone?
Stop there!
I knew it. It's you again.
Of course it's me! You two tricked me again, right? Been waiting for you at the agreed location. That captain didn't come and have a showdown of music with me!
She's sick. I'm also sick.
Really? So she couldn't sing due to a sore throat? No! You're trying to fool me again!
Someone told me that it's important to cheat on others to become the perfect stage idol. I don't think that's, you should
I don't
say
think
it like that.
That's the way it's
I think
supposed to be worded.
I don't think this is the way you should say that. The most popular novel in the main Beacon library right now tells such a story, and it's very touching.
I'll sneak in and read it later.
You really are stealthy. So the attack on the main Beacon workshop was your doing as well.
I don't know. I'm just here to take care of some personal business and end my duel with you two. Oh, fine. Since the Aberranger's captain isn't here, I'll punish you for being a traitor!
I surrender.
Fancia did not raise her Illumi arms. What?
I can't do anything without Alina. I'm sure I can't beat you either, so I surrender. You can kill me if you want. I'm neither an Arbor-Ranger, nor am I light pollution.
Why are you saying something so demoralizing? Necrotia shook her head and pointed her Illumi arms at Fancia. Don't you have any will to fight? This isn't like the Fancia I know. Didn't you do things quite decisively while you were at the base?
Now I don't know what to do. I was thinking of reconciling the main Beacon and light pollution or helping Lumina, but I failed to do any of them. So, whatever.
What a bummer.
Oh, that was the
Necrotia
plan.
lowered her weapon.
Nice going!
Keep feeling sorry for yourself then. I don't want a boring fight.
Sorry.
Tell you what. Do me a favor and I'll let you go.
What do you want?
I want you to evaluate my music. Necrotia pulled out a mechanical box with speakers.
Huh?
She just has that. She just has a big ol' MP3 player nearby.
It looks like an alarm clock.
Indescribable
noise.
Several minutes later. And how's that?
I still can't wrap my head around the fact that it's music. It's got a bit of a beat, but I think it's a bit too loud.
Damn. Am I really still too far ahead of my time? Yeah, she started playing some Skrillex. Just... Scary
Was there a drop,
monsters.
Necrotia?
Scary monsters and nice beats, or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I'm telling you, one day I'll make my electronic music popular.
I wish you all the best then.
Why does it feel like I'm being mocked? Whatever, you heard the tunes prepared for the showdown anyway, so I didn't spend my time in vain. Get that Arbor-Ranger's captain ready for next time. I'll beat her head on, in both combat and music.
Necrotia, you really like music, don't you? Alina, actually, she just doesn't want to fight you, so she's been lying to you the whole time.
Huh, I can tell that. You think I'm stupid?
I really did the first and second time.
Even though she's the one who pulled the strings, I'm serious. Before becoming light pollution... No. Before becoming an Arbor-Ranger, I wanted to be a musical performer.
Wow, really? I remember, Necrotia, you came from the main Beacon, right?
Yeah. So I was exposed to a lot of new things growing up. The workshop sometimes develop musical equipment, such as synthesizers.
What's that?
It's an instrument for electronic music. There was an illuminator I respected at the time who specialized in tinkering with this. And later I simply kind of worshipped her. But then later, she died in an accident from a dark critter attack.
That's a pity.
Yeah. Everything she researched and the style of music she pioneered was like virtually unknown in this regard. In Illuminator society, death of an Illuminator represents the disappearance of their legacy. They're too fragile.
So, did you end up in light pollution to avenge her?
Avenge? Maybe. But my teacher's music will never come back. She's a real genius. All I can do is try my best to emulate her in my free time. Maybe real electronica will never be seen in Illuminator society again. So, I'm gonna prevent that from happening to anyone else.
I see.
What about you, Fancia? Why'd you become light pollution and then betray us?
I don't have that much of a reason. Just, I've been doing things of my own accord, I think.
An answer from a coward. It matches you. I'll come back and fight you when you found your reason to fight. Acrocia left.
Turns out Necrotia had such a story. I should have talked to her more often in light pollution space. But her music is really hard to bear. Do you mean by listening to it or emotionally?
Look, her next episode is another boss fight.
Oh boy, she finally convinced them. So wait, was Vancia serious about being that self-defeating, or was that her new plan to get out of fighting?
I don't know. I think it was more of an act, at least at the start. She's still been struggling with like what she actually wants. So it could just be like this happening at a time, because this boss fight can happen before she makes it to Rose Crown. So it could still be during that part of the storyline.
Gotcha.
Because of the powerful lightning, Illuminators can't touch neon glitter with their bare hands, and have to use specialized wooden tools to seal the petals and glass vials to make specimens. The colorful state of the specimen neon glitter lasts for a long time, so it's treasured as an ornamental artifact. Especially when music is played nearby, the flowing patterns on the neon glitter respond to the beat, making the petals themselves even more beautiful.
Road of Idol 4.
Fancia told Alina about her encounter with Necrotia. Huh. Turns out she actually prepared music.
I'm not surprised. That's just who Necrotia is.
Getting a little tired of lying to her all the time. It's a bit cruel. Alright, let's go find her.
I want to keep your promise?
We're about to attack light pollution space, so it's good to get rid of one of their big guns first. Also, since we both like music, it always feels like there's something to talk about with her.
But you like a totally different genre of music.
Suddenly, one of the Arbor Rangers ran to Alina in a panic.
Captain, something's...
calm down and speak clearly.
Dark critters attacked the transport team on their way back to the main beacon. Among the team, there's a member of Starkiss. Starkiss. Is it Adorna Starcloud who's responsible for Illuminator resettlement?
Let's go help them out, Fancia. In the dark forest, the Illuminators who had just escaped from the Dark Critter attack were still in shock. I can't believe a Dark Critter like that would appear. Never seen it before. Not even in a Dark Critter tide that swept through the Starshard Beacon.
Impossible. We're so close to Rosecrown Beacon, it should be safe.
The world really is going downhill.
What should we do, Madame Adorna? Can we make it back?
A former member of an idol group? Don't call me madam. Never mind, let's skip this for now. Don't worry, I released a flare at the first sign of attack. I'm sure it's visible to Rosecrown. We just protect ourselves while we wait for help.
Dark critters!
I know. Get behind me. Apart from that big one, these familiar kinds of dark critters have surrounded us. What bad luck. I should have let Duskia foretell the future before leaving. I need to find a way to create space for the others to escape. Hey! Come at me!
Whoa,
Everyone,
growly
take this
sheep.
opportunity and run! There's no need for that.
Hey.
The figure that appeared out of the forest was surprisingly a Neon from Night Pollution. She repelled the Dark Critter with a single move. I've been waiting to try this classic heroine line for so long. Seems to be as catchy as I imagined. Are you Light Pollution? Yeah. Let us experts handle the Dark Critters. Thanks a lot. We're a transportation team from Rosecrown Beacon on our way to the main beacon. By the way, there was a huge Dark Critter that I'd never seen before. A huge Dark Critter? Right, it's like a gigantic cloud. A heart-stopping roar came from above the heads of the crowd. That's the...
Oh. So it's not a fight against the Crochet after all.
Nope. There is going to be a fight against the Crochet, but not here.
I mean, we fought her already. I figured that was the boss fight. There's another one?
I mean, yeah, we have to storm the castle. You think we're not going to get rematches with everybody?
I guess that makes sense. I thought maybe the Crochet wouldn't be there and it's never explained unless you do the side story.
Whoops.
Whoa.
I mistimed that one real bad. Yeah, the one-horned dudes, that's their attack. They just put a bunch of lasers that... There's one opening spot, but they both attacked at the same time, so there wasn't an opening spot.
Oh, I see.
But I was like, oh, I'll just counter it anyway, and then I mistimed the counter, and I was... The sounds of battle are coming from over there, right?
Yes. Look, Alina. Necrotia? Are you okay?
Be careful. This one's called Skyfire and it's really strong. Light pollution only encountered it once and it's very hard to deal with.
Skyfire? Like the locks?
I can't believe how big it is.
Necrotia, what are you doing here? Have you seen any other illuminators around?
A transport team. They're behind the tree and should be okay. I repelled most of the dark critters, but this one is just... Beware of its carpet bombing.
Got it. Necrotia, hurry up and find the illuminators from the transportation team and hide together.
Let us take it down. And here he comes.
It's coming!
Oh lord, he coming. Look at him! He's so big!
Oh lord, he's coming! Big sheep! Let's go! It's so cute! Why is it so cute? It's so cute! It looks like a parade balloon animal. Like, you could see this thing at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Ow.
It's got eyeballs on its ass. Oh, and they even look sad.
Wow, I did not see that. Oh!
Yeah, you got pelted.
I got
Youch.
exploded there. Ow. Alright, we did it.
Phew. Just barely living.
It's fine, I had an extra heal. Such unusual dark critter area actually appearing near Rosecrown Beacon.
As the dark critter tide spreads, I'm afraid that many things in the depths of the land of darkness will run out.
What a headache. Captain Lena! Miss Fancia! Adorna! Glad to see that you're safe, all safe and sound. All thanks to this kid. Hey, I'm not necessarily younger than you, am I? You look pretty young. That's what everyone says. If we're good here, I'll be leaving.
Necrotia, what's the rush? Let me at least help you with your wounds.
No need. Got it all bandaged. Thanks a lot this time, Necrotia. I'll get you next time, Captain of the Arbor Rangers. When I'm a little better. It's still a musical showdown? Fighting, of course! But I won't lose when it comes to music either. Oh, you know anything about music? Adorna suddenly pulled Necrotia back, looking interested.
He's like, oh yeah, you're in light pollution? No, let's talk about music.
Hold up. Hey, what are you doing? To revive Starkiss, I'm in the process of recruiting musical talent here in the main beacon in Rosecrown. If you know anything about music, then come join Starkiss! Also, I have to repay you for saving my life. What? But I'm on light pollution. I'm not on your side. There's nothing wrong with a light pollution idol. My music philosophy is also different from yours. I love electronic music. Really? I think I read about it in a book. Whatever the genre is, I won't be opposed. Anyway, you're coming back to the main beacon with us. No way, no way, no way! The Crochet ran off in a huff. You'll have to place in our bed. It turns out Mrs. Oops, sorry.
It turns out that Miss Adorna also has a strong character.
I know music too. Why don't you recruit me?
Is that really important right now? Man. She's like, you will be in my band. Well, in honor of my apple smoothie, why don't we go with Classica?
Alrighty.
Which I've finished. I slurped that whole thing up because I guess it was better than I thought. It was pretty freaking tasty. I would hardly recommend an apple slushy. Although I would like to make it more smoothie-like, which I can next time if I have more oat milk. I made it vegan on purpose because that's how everything would be in Elixirland. They don't use any animal products.
The Illuminators believe that if someone succeeds in making red honey wine, the
Well, except maybe honey.
Who drinks the first cup can make a wish come true. Of course, this requires a great ceremony, and the wish has to be made with the first cup of red honey wine in front of a crowd. For this reason, the petals of Bella Rosa are also used as meaningful gifts, as a symbol for making friendships and expressing sincere goodwill.
They have bees? You think honey's the only animal product they use?
Probably.
Come to think of it, I did put honey in my
They do
smoothie.
eat fish.
Oh, they do? Oh, I forgot about that.
But fish is like a weird thing to eat to them.
Oh.
Like it's not something that's common. Fucking, Bonfire has to get it fucking custom ordered from Classica.
Oh.
So, at least in that context, it's like any kind of animal products are pretty rare, even if they have them.
Yeah.
Here comes your food.
And your beverage is here. Thank you. Miss Wine, you've been running back and forth to serve us. Sorry to bother you so much.
I'm not bothered at all. It's just that there aren't many ingredients left inside the beacon, but I still want to cook some delicious food for you. It took me some time. You come back once in a while and always leave so soon. So I have to seize this chance to gather and have a meal with you. I'm sorry for not making this decent enough. There are wounded illuminators inside after all, and we have to dine in this corner. Is the place too crowded? Pity that all the dinner tables and chairs were thrown away. These little tables are all we have left.
Oh, we're good here. Now I'm a bit curious. Did you still retain the tavern's kitchen?
Of course. We needed to cook for the patients. I see. Seriously though, I'm really thankful to you for taking the time to prepare the banquet for us. I know you've been very busy. But if it's Classica's food, don't say it to my face, would you, Elena? That would upset me.
Classica has been cooking for patients and already changed her style of cooking.
Oh my gosh, we're not
Yeah, you
gonna
can't.
get so much pepper. I can't believe this.
Hospital food instead!
Hospital food. Imagine if hospital's food was like all mandated to be super spicy.
God, that would not be feasible at all whatsoever.
And you just have some people who just eat the food and they're just red in the face because that's the only thing they can eat. And they have
The hospital
no spice
would get
tolerance.
sued. Hospital food's bland on purpose. No. We should stop making fun of her. Or else she'll actually serve you hospital food.
Yeah.
And you'll wish the spice was back.
Just taste it. At least don't let my effort be in vain, will you? Fine, I'll try. Wait! This is...
Alina? Her face. Are you alright?
Fine. Water.
See? Here you are.
Hang on, I've got my big water bottle. Hang on, let's see if it can be picked up.
Don't choke on it.
Okay, no. My gulping cannot
No, it
didn't. Cannot be picked up by the microphone.
Your reaction tells... Is this dish...
It's just
Wow,
spicy fish.
just take a look at that thing.
It's
Alina,
just
use your
spicy
brain.
fish.
Alina, use your brain. You look at that, and you're like, oh, there's no way this can be spicy.
A few days ago, some recovered Arb Rangers brought me these fish to show their gratitude. So I thought of making a classic dish.
I knew it.
Hold on. Fish?
Funny that I just brought this up.
Classica, did you say this is actually fish? Yeah? Wasn't it your idea in the first place? It's really amazing that you thought of using fish as an ingredient. Toast to wine did flourish for a while with this specialty. It's a pity that the darker time has come and we're running out of sick rooms.
Oh, it turns out that the fish cuisine idea in the dream really happened, and the idea worked. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Speaking of which, I'm actually a little curious about what it tastes like. Just a little bit should be fine. If possible, I also hope that Toast to Wine can continue its business.
Well, we rarely have time for a gathering, so let's leave those annoying things aside.
By the way, what's your arrangement for the Luminators of Starshard Beacon?
Most of them is settled in the main beacon, and this time we've brought another group of Illuminators to Rosecrown.
Well, there really isn't any other place to accommodate so many Illuminators now, besides the main beacon and here.
One day we'll take everything back. Okay, don't be so bitter and resentful. Since the Illuminators from Starshard can be properly accommodated, you have no fault in this matter. Compared to these invaluable Illuminators, a beacon means nothing. But along the way, we also lost a lot of them.
I heard about what happened to Wishia. I'm sorry.
Now, girls, pick up your chopsticks. Put your conversations aside for now. The food is getting cold.
Well, eat up. Don't let Classica down.
I haven't felt this full in a long time. Oh, you finished the fish too.
After my tongue got used to it, it did taste good. After all, it's a signature dish. Even though my tongue is still a little bit numb.
Besides, it's quite luxurious to be able to enjoy such abundant seasonings during a time like this. Well, thank you so much for your appreciation.
Now I'll go check on the injured. You girls just stay here and chat with Klaska for a while longer. My side stories another time.
Yeah. You're talking like I'm a senior. Well, maybe I am a senior illuminator. Pyria smiled and got up to leave. What's wrong? Are you depressed after eating my food?
Rose Crown Beacon. How are things going here, Miss Wine?
I guess you've seen the situation in the sick rooms. So you already have a rough picture of the current situation here. Compared to the beacons that have been attacked by the Dark Critter Tide, the situation in Rose Crown is actually much better. The Tide.
It will end, right?
I don't want to discourage you, but it is really hard to say. The Dark Critter Tide isn't something that can be predicted. Maybe it'll last for 1 or 2 years, or for eternity. But we always have to live on, don't we?
Miss Wine, aren't you afraid? The Dark Critter Tide may strike Rose Crown Beacon at any time. If it continues without end, one day it'll arrive here.
A fallen beacon can be rebuilt, as long as the illuminators are still shining. Even if we were all swallowed up by dark critters, new illuminators would continue to be born across the entire Elixirland. One day, Elixirland will be bright again. One day. Let's just consider it empty words I use to comfort myself. That's what a senior would like to do. But, you see, after enduring 3 centuries of darkness, illuminators still persist in their pursuit, right? That is how illuminators survive in Elixirland. No matter what the situation is, there are always illuminators who never give up. You're right, Sister Classica. I just want to be the one who never gives up.
Alina. Then I'll just have to persist with you.
You really got your spirits up pretty quick. Thanks for telling us so much, sis. Let's go, Fancia. It's time for us to go back and rest. There are many things awaiting us.
Oh, okay. We're leaving now, Miss Wine.
Well, I'll be waiting for your next visit. I said some big words that even I'm doubting.
Oh, it didn't occur to me until now that it's toast to wine with a bunch of hospital beds in it.
Nope. Classica walked around to the counter, took out an old jar of long-contained wine and 2 glasses, filling them up in a leisurely manner. The previous owner of Toast to Wine raised her glasses and gently clinked the other glass on the bar.
Oh.
It is comforting to see that you're Oops. To see you're the next generation of such aspirations.
Oops.
I barely have such a chance, so join me for a drink.
With her old friend. Right, I need to take a break a little bit.
Alrighty.
Just a little bit.
A very short little break. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have an extra 2 open slots. Divination is not that great. Where's Yuya 2? Wait, this is Yuya 2. Where's Yuya 1? No, this is Yuya 1. Where's Yuya 2? Is there only just the one Yuya? Oh, no, I'm thinking of... Never mind. The setup that I'm thinking of is not Yuya. Dodge CD reduction... None of the ones that I can currently equip are really worth it. I'll just... Oh, this was not equipped. What's this one? 20% more energy gain. Yeah, I want to keep that one. Raw damage, which is... That being said, the damage on the rings themselves is kind of shitty. It's more for, like, the stun locking. We can roll with this. Actually, wait, no. Super stance, there we go. Change my perch screen. We're getting close. All that's left is more max HP and revive time. I want to say that I'm not gonna need more revive time, but I've been making mistakes. Oh, that one's actually pretty nice to have.
Okay.
Alright. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Time to go and do some Bonfiek storyline.
Ooh, okay.
Dream Carnation is recorded in the Elixirland Plant's Handbook as a relatively common low-growing plant. Its flowers are generally reddish.
Low-growing.
Yeah, because she's short.
Low-growing.
Its flowers are generally reddish in color, with some disorganized filamentous bumps, and its overall morphology is inconsistent. Some researchers have also argued that dream carnation should be referred to as a class of flower, like lightweaver. Still, the main Beacon Library, the writers of the handbook, believe that this is simply a difference between strains.
Was that making fun of her hair?
I actually don't know. The Sage's Office.
You're here. Yes, Madame Bonfia.
Vancia was somewhat anxious about being summoned alone by Bonfia.
What can I do for you, madam? I want to ask you about the situation with light pollution and decide on the next course of action. As their former vice leader, you must know a lot. I wasn't one of their most senior members, but I'll tell you everything I know. Let's start with their leaders. Besides Spectrica, who else is there? Madame Spectrica is the absolute leader. In addition, Kira Crimson and Necrotia Neon are vice leaders, who can command on their own. As for the technical aspect, it's handled by Genia Cold. She's also an illuminator from Rose-Crowned Beacon, like me. After Spectrica was imprisoned by us, who was the decision maker? We would discuss together, but generally Kira's opinion is considered decisive. She is the most prudent one and trusted by other members. I see. That excellent student from Lightfall Beacon is really remarkable. Do you know her, Madame Bonfia? Oh my god, you mean two illuminators who are short and have red stuff going on? Of course they're related. I'm just kidding. I know every illuminator in Elixiland. At least, I know their names.
Plus, she used to be an Arbor Ranger. So
oh, yeah.
She would have her name in the book.
Right. It's just that sometimes I'll forget. Alright, tell me more about their base. Well, their base is located northwest of Earthcaress Beacon, approximately 320 degrees by the main beacon's coordinates.
Nero, are you gonna sit yourself down? What are you doing?
He
I
wants
asked
to
him
be in
what
the
he
same
wanted
room
to-
as you.
I asked him what he wanted to do, and he immediately pushed himself against me. Because he wants to be affectionate, but I'm just like, are you gonna sit down so I can pat you, or are you gonna...
Well, you could double task. You could just stare at the computer while you do a little bend down and scritch
Yeah.
behind his ears. That's what I do with Stella when I stream sometimes. I'm like
It
double
was more along
tasking.
the lines of, he had just jumped up onto my lap, and he hadn't decided what he wanted to do. So I'm just like, are you gonna make a decision, boy?
Cute.
Vancia told everything she could recall to Bonfia.
Really? Do you all hate me that much? Because you represent the main beacon, madam. Sometimes we did express resistance to the main beacon by speaking ill of you.
It's like, you're the face that we have to put to this.
What kind of ill things did you say?
Look at her asking that with that smile. She's like,
Yeah,
what kind of insult did you guys come up with? This will be funny.
You're right. Bonfia seemed quite interested. Spill the tea. I want to know what y'all said behind my back. Well, it's all right. Just say it, Vancia. We call you Shorty or old woman. I can understand the first one. Why old lady? Is it because of my hairstyle? It's because you're indeed quite old, right? Well, just lived a little while longer than you. They said you were already an active illuminator in the era of Madame Elixa, which was at least 300 years ago, right? True, but for illuminators, it's not that long, is it?
Bonfia, you are like... No, you are unironically the oldest illuminator alive.
Right now.
Theoretically, in Lixa or Lumina could be older, but they're not technically alive right now. Well, whatever is up with
Lumina.
in Lixa is
And
up in
Elixa.
the air, but
Up in the air, like the sun.
heh, that was not the joke, but
After all, we won't die unless accidents happen. In my youth, I often encountered illuminators who were 500 or 600 years old. Really? Then why don't we have anyone at that age now?
because civilization collapsed.
Because of the slumber of Enlixa. After losing the sun, the pervasive darkness has affected our lives. Also, the longer an illuminator lives, the less sensitive they become to danger. When the dark critters attack, they're more likely to be targeted. Is that why Necrotia was? I mean, Noxastacia was like, "Oh, huh."
Guess I'll die.
Yeah. I see. So that's why we need the Arbor Rangers to fight against the dark critters. But Madame Spectrica seems to think...
Fancy clenched her teeth and made up her mind to speak up.
Light pollution thinks that the Arbor Rangers haven't done enough. For example...
Boy is looking at me with his big ol' eyes.
Oh, beep.
What is the matter?
Oh. For example, banning the beacon cannon and other powerful technologies. I understand the demands of light pollution, but I cannot agree with their approaches. Once the balance between light and darkness is broken, it will lead to an endless dark critter tide. It will lead to endless dark critter tides, just like the situation now. Spectrica also understands this. She's just unwilling to accept it. Madame Spectrica, did the death of Madame Intimia change her? Yes, and no. To explain that, we have to start with the Great Expansion and Migration Plan. At that time, under the leadership of Spectrica and the two oldest children of the Crystal family, Piria's family, a large number of beacons were built in Elixiland.
I want to note, like, Piria's family is, like, really important in, like, a lot of the history of the early age of this... early part of this age.
That's wild.
And they just don't have names.
Aw, man.
They're just the crystals.
Well, I guess that makes it simpler. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like, we have to have, like, these important figures in early post-Elixa history. But, like, they're not relevant to the current plot, so we're just not gonna flesh them out.
For example, the new Rose Crown Beacon, Skyladder Beacon, and Earthcaress Beacon.
Which, I mean, I guess is great for, like, people who... for, like, the concept of having a sequel. like you could have a game about
Oh.
those, like little side stories about these these empty parts in the story being filled up. I don't think that was like the intention when they did that, but I do like when a story has a proper enough world building wherein you do want to see more stuff and you can just have something else that is like related to the previous story that like just can be its own story to tell.
Yeah. I like that
Right?
kind of thing too.
Like, we could have an entire game about Ardbert's stuff before the, like...
Yeah, I was thinking of 14 too.
Just, that entire storyline could be its own Final Fantasy game. And
yeah.
it wouldn't feel like it wouldn't, and... Look at me complaining about fucking Kingdom Hearts again. It wouldn't feel like required reading. Right?
Yeah.
But, like, people would want to see that. People would want to see, like, okay, they don't necessarily say that, like, oh, I absolutely need to see this. But, like, if they made it, they wouldn't be like, wow, why the fuck would we want to know more about...
Right. Exactly.
about these characters, right? Like, this... It's nice to have stories that are entirely self-contained, too. Like, you don't necessarily need to know more about the contexts of how the angels work in The World Ends With You. You just have to know that they're there.
Yeah.
You know,
Although that would be fun.
The idea
I mean, also, mystery itself can be appealing, but...
Yeah.
Definitely when there's, like, more stories to tell, and if it's an engaging enough world, you want to know about them.
Yeah, you could be like just have a story, and then there's, like, some aspect of the history that just is there. And, like, that history could just be a whole other story.
Yeah, that's exactly what corporations are cashing in on with all of these straight-to-streaming spin-off series of various things.
Yeah.
With, like, I think to mixed results, but, like,
Yeah, it's weird because, like, some of them could be, like, it could be really cool to have a lot of these kind of things, right? I just feel
they're
like...
always cool in theory, which is why people are so engaged with the idea and are really excited for spin-offs.
Yeah, like, I have this concept for, like, and it's been, like, floating in my head, slowly percolating little details, ever since I played Undertale, because I really, really disliked the presentation of the bad ending.
Oh, right, I remember you talking about
And
that.
also, just the fact that, like, narratively, there's certain details where they're like, yeah, being able to save is, like, a weird metaphysical thing. And I was like, what if we just, like, focused a lot more on that? Like, you just had a game where, like, saving and reloading was part of the narrative.
That could totally happen. I can totally see that.
And so, like, the idea that I was having is, like, there's a world wherein the characters have scientifically, like, people have scientifically kind of come to the understanding that certain narrative patterns will happen. It's as though, like, the gods themselves will make something happen. If there's
it's like Princess Tutu. Did you ever watch Princess Tutu? It's a bit like that.
I think I have, but okay, yeah, no. I saw
you remember the storyteller
one
thing?
One episode. And I was like, oh, I remember the concept now. But yeah, the idea is like, whenever there's like a great, basically just like a great moment in history that's going to happen, that thing clearly has a that event clearly has a protagonist. And they call it, like, they call it the chosen by God. Every era has the person chosen by God. And,
Funny enough, this is also like Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, kinda. But like, rather than like it being, like, hey, it turns out that in Final Fantasy 14, like, you're just the main character because, you know, at first it was just
Heidelin.
a bunch of people chose people. Like in 1.x, there was tons of people who were the Warriors of Light, narratively. And then in A Realm Reborn, we're like, all right, we're gonna just hone in on you.
Yeah.
But even then, like, it's not like they're important because you're the best person for the job. In this one, being chosen means that you cannot fail, which in gameplay results in the ability to save and reset.
Right.
And
like, as long as you beat the game, there's always some reality where you never lost even once. You did everything perfectly.
So, to follow that up, people can figure out who the person who is chosen by God is by leaving impossible challenges. And if they are solved if they're either solved with brute force or like the obvious way, that's the person. But there's also ways that you could like bypass these tests so no one really knows. That would be like the storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I see a lot of
And so like that was kind of like my basic idea, and I was like, this world would be cool, and it would be really cool to have like a prequel game. Because the other story beat that I kind of immediately decided on was that like the main villain was the previous one chosen by God. But once his story arc ended, the world just went back to being shit. And so he's like, we need to stop this. I'm tired of the concept of this world just having like the peace that is transient by design. If the peace will be transient, let it be because it just happens to be transient rather than by design. So I am going to go and I'm gonna fucking be the BBEG and force a new hero to appear. And then, because I know that being the hero means that you get to interact with whatever force is behind the computer screen, I'm gonna tell him to fucking upend the world and redo causality. And like, if you go through the normal storytelling, that actually happens. He just retakes the protagonist's spot, and if you try to load to prior to that, you rather than going to the previous protagonist during that part in the story, you're just at the new guy where the previous protagonist was in the storyline.
Oh.
And so then the prequel game would just be like that guy's like first foray in the plot, as he was just a plucky hero going and doing the thing.
Yeah, and then he got jaded.
And then like the end of the game is like, this is great, we've won, but it's not what I wanted.
Yeah. But you know, that concept really struck me when you were talking about it. And I kind of imagined it going a completely different way. Like I think the concept's really strong.
Yeah.
But I ended up with the more like kind of a way it could be really like effective and touching. Like emotionally like less this is all bullshit, and more like what does it mean to be perfect? You know, if there's all these expectations on you to reload your saves until you do it perfectly, but there's like an Uchikoshi like reality where you did it perfectly, and then but or maybe like to everybody else in the game, they realize that from their perspective you're perfect, but you're the only one who's experiencing all the times you die and reload.
Yeah.
So there's like a pain they can't understand, and they can't understand the tremendous pressure they're putting on you.
Yeah.
Like I think it has a lot of potential.
It's just like one of those. It's one of those like too big world
Yeah,
ideas
I can
that
see
like
it. I
that
can see it.
slowly add more and more
Yeah.
details in my head.
It would be more fun to do as like its own original thing, but I could easily see that being a straight up Undertale spin-off because the way like the narrative beats work could totally work in like an Undertale context.
Yeah.
I should move on, huh?
we could probably move on. We've reached the end of that tangent.
For example, the new Rose Crown Beacon, Skyladder Beacon, and Earthcrest Beacon. The Illuminators had expanded their activity range, trying to suppress the activities of dark critters. In fact, now that I think about it, Spectrica's extreme ideas were already formed back then. As the number of beacons increased, we needed more defenders. So, Intimia actively proposed to found the Arbor Rangers, and later I designed a systematic Arbor Rangers system. For a long time, we had been exploring unknown areas and building new beacons. Many newborn illuminators like you were discovered and taken good care of. At that time, the main leader of the newborn illuminator search plan, of course, was the one who cared most about the fate of illuminators, Spectrica's close friend, Madame Spectrica. Exactly. For a while, she became the new sun of Enlixaland, illuminating everyone's heart. But later, an unprecedented, terrifying dark critter tide swept through Starshard Beacon. You were there at that time, right? Intimia was killed in that battle. Madame Spectrica and Madame Intimia were both students of Madame Noxastacia, right? That's right. Given their differing expertise, I asked Spectrica to station at Starshard while Intimia stayed in the main beacon. My intention was to maximize their abilities. However, Intimia's death became a trigger. From that time on, Spectrica started to rival the main beacon. So Madame Intimia's death wasn't the cause, but an important factor in intensifying the conflict. The truth is even more complicated. Intimia had another classmate at that time, and something about her also caused Spectrica's dissatisfaction.
I wonder who that classmate is.
Ooh.
It's not like we haven't talked
Laura?
about her before.
Laura, why? Besides, Spectrica herself aside, the consensus among the other light pollution members was also essential.
Because Lura still says that she wants to use her power to save, so that Illuminators and Dark Critters
can coexist.
Which kind
and
of
Spectrica wants to kill them all.
Which already kind of directly opposes Spectrica's concept, and which she kind of already had since the very beginning.
Yeah. I don't want them to fight. The division we're talking about here is the result of conflicting choices made by Illuminators when faced with similar challenges. That's what we call history. I didn't expect the history to be so complex. Madam, actually, after I left light pollution, I had always wanted to mediate the internal strife between light pollution and the main beacon. Now it seems that I was too naive. Yeah, everything in the past is intertwined like a knot, very difficult to unravel. One more thing. I don't know if you have ever thought about this, Vancia. What is it, madam? In the past, someone used to ask me a question. Is it right to feel pain for what has already been lost? Or, let me put it this way. If our remembrance for the deceased will take its toll on us, should we still remember them and grieve for them? This sounds like a Lumina full moon thing to ask. But that isn't something we can control, is it? Unless you put him in dreamland. Fancia, use your brain. What were you doing in dreamland? What was your whole, internal battle you were in? It was kind of intense. It wasn't that long ago. We mourn for what we've lost and might even act irrationally because of the loss. That's a natural response, but there's no right or wrong in it. As an answer to my question, you're right, but the one who asked me wasn't focused on the question itself. What she really wanted to know is what she should do when she faced such a loss. Those who deny agony will force themselves to move on and become devoted to doing something that is irrelevant to the loss. Oh shit, that's real. Naturally, there will be endless things awaiting her. She thus feels relieved by keeping herself busy. At least there's a temporary escape for her. If that's the case, is it better for us to admit the existence of agony? No, that won't make us feel better either. I know that there's a kind of illuminator who seems to dwell on their loss all day long. Their pain becomes their shelter and allows them to hide, keeping their eyes and ears shut. But of course, I'm not criticizing them. I think they are frightened and try to avoid another misfortune in a silly way. If both acknowledgement and denial aren't the correct ways to face losses, maybe there's a third way?
Huh?
Oh, and what is it? We neither acknowledge nor deny it. We just accept it. We might feel pain, but we can face the result calmly. But what next? What do we do after we accept it? Maybe we can fight to keep ourselves and others from undergoing the same pain again? Bzzt. I mean, yeah, but it's impossible. I guess maybe not for Illuminators, since they have the kind of immortality where they'll keep living as long as, nothing kills them.
No.
But, generally. So, actually, maybe that could work just because you're Illuminators. Not bad. Personally, I like that answer. But the question is, how? Just keep trying, and we'll surely find a way. We can only believe in that. Yes, we can only hold on to such hope. Thank you, Vancia. I have no further questions. My honor, Madame Pomphia. So what was that about? That went places, and that's only the second one?
Yep. Oh, this I'm gonna be saving this one for later, actually.
Oh, a boss fight?
Yeah, this is completely, well, the boss fight itself is unrelated, but but the story is mildly related.
Okay. Yeah, you think it's natural to go into Intimia next since we were just talking about her?
Yes. There were once plans by Illuminators to plant large fields of Myosotis to light up entire region. But it turns out that when light exceeds a certain limit, dark critters appear and mash the defenseless plants.
I think it's probably Myosotis.
Myosotis. At the same time, Myosotis is a fast-growing, quick-dying plant, making large-scale centralized planting impractical.
No, don't call it quick dying.
The Illuminators can only spread as many seeds and pollen as possible to keep Myosotis blooming, one after the other, in the Elixir land. This happened soon after the Illuminators returned to the main beacon. Anything I can do for you, Madame Bonfia?
Yeah. Regarding the ongoing mission of eliminating light pollution, I have a question for you.
I totally believe in Fancia, Madam.
Fine. Since you have such strong faith in her, I'll speak no more on that matter. Anyway, I don't mean to question you.
Yes?
I'll be honest with you. I've been observing you all this time. You're a bit too young for the leadership of the Arbor Rangers. Especially when we're in this special time. I don't need a passionate subordinate. I need a tough helper.
I understand, Madame Bonfia.
But your performance has far exceeded my expectations.
Really? Thank you so much for your appreciation.
Being young sometimes can be a good thing. Alright, I think it's time to give you this.
Bonfia spoke while picking something up from the table behind her and handed it to Alina. This is the Codex of Arbor Rangers?
That's right.
It was kept by Intimia before.
Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, wait, that's me. It was kept by Intimia before.
No, this is narration.
No, it wasn't. Look in the...
Oh, it was. Ah. Alina took the Codex, opened the first page, and it was greeted by the striking words, Intimia Dawnlight.
Ever since we started fighting against light pollution, the assessment for Arbor Rangers has been abolished, and the distinction between combatants and ordinary illuminators has become less apparent. And we're becoming more and more like our enemies. Therefore, it's been a long time since the last update of this codex. Nowadays, perhaps it only holds some commemorative significance. But Intimia also left something else.
Something else?
Yeah.
Bonfia nodded and picked up a thick notebook from the table, handing it to Alina.
This is her battle record.
Battle record?
That's right. She has made records and summaries of every battle she had fought, writing them down in this notebook, hoping to provide guidance to future illuminators. To her last moment.
I'll keep recording, Madame Bonfia. To my last moment, the end of our civilization.
Wait, she like civilization's gonna end with me.
I will be the last person to die.
And You know, this is very serious, but I could see that Alina would have a lot of fun writing every detail about her fights. Like, and then, and then, and then. You know, like... Thank you, Alina.
Is Madame Bonfia feeling sad or satisfied?
Satisfied.
Heh.
Oh, one last thing.
This time, Bonfia did not turn towards the table, but instead raised her hand to retrieve something from her own bosom, which she intended to hand over to Alina in the end.
Intimia gave this alarm clock to me. It suddenly ceased to work on the day when Intimia had the accident. Nobody knows how to repair it. To be honest, none of us has the time to study how to repair it. So it keeps pointing to that particular moment in time. Of course, I don't need an alarm clock to arrange my time anymore. If you can find Yuya, she definitely knows how to fix it. Then maybe it'll come in handy. So Bonfia knows about Yuya.
Yep. This alarm clock. It's the... I see, Madame Bonfia. I'll cherish these things you gave me.
It's not me who gave it to you. It's Intimia.
Yes. Bonfia turned around and spoke no more. Now, if you'll excuse me, madam. I feel so heavy-hearted. Maybe I should sit outside for a while before going back. Battle record. Alina started reading Intimia's notebook. So many details. She even drew out rough images of the Dark Critters she fought. Oh. Here's a not-so-detailed one. A pile of dark matter. Couldn't see what it was, but I won anyway. This battle's getting harder and harder. They arrived in Earth Caress Beacon today. We must pay close attention to this wave of dark critters. Lyra agreed with me. An enormous dark critter tide seems to have taken shape nearby. We neutralized the tide successfully with the Arbor Rangers in Earth Caress, but Lyra was far too influential, so she couldn't participate in the following battles. Here, I'm recording the scale of the Dark Critter Tide that has just ended and the overall combat situation. Recently, the voices supporting light pollution within the main beacon have been growing louder and louder. I understand the feeling of those supporters, but solidarity of the whole society is the only way out at this moment. Dark Critter Tide has been very aggressive and started to attack the Green Hermit Beacon, which completely unmatches the patterns I previously summarized. I have to admit Miss Shade's deduction is the right one. Dark Critter Tide comes randomly with no specific reasons. We've united with the Arbor Rangers from Green Hermit and resisted the onslaught of Dark Critters for several days. Although it's been determined that the Dark Critter Tide is formed randomly, I'll continue to record its scale and our battle situation here. Whatever Dark Critters they might be, they can be dispelled by light. However large the scale would be, as long as we stand united, we can keep them at bay outside the beacons. Starshard Beacon also suffered from an investigation. My brain was like, an investigation of dark critters. That's incorrect. Starshard Beacon also suffered an invasion of dark critters, but fortunately it wasn't a large-scale attack. With the support of Spectrocani, we quickly cleared out all the monsters. I compared past statistics and summarized some patterns related to the tide. I hope the tide will pass quickly. Starshard Beacon is a beacon full of young illuminators, and whether we can hold on here has great impact on the morale of the Arbor Rangers. The tide is lasting longer than I imagined, and the supply of resources inside the beacon is running low. It is difficult to seek assistance, and the support team is unable to reach us. We can only fight a decisive battle now, at least to create an opening for the reinforcement from the other beacons. Here, I'm recording the battle situation of today. I hope there's still a tomorrow for us. No more records from here. While defending Starshard Beacon, she... Thank you, Madame Intimia. Appears these records didn't reach Mildia's hands. Or maybe it could be that Madame Vonfia was still observing Mildia at that time, but then... No. Stop thinking about it, Alina. Alina quickly flipped through the notebook resting on her lap, appearing slightly flustered and unsettled. Battle record. The duty of a leader. Can I really keep my promise to Madame Bonfia? Suddenly, Alina saw a page with handwriting appearing on the next page of the battle record. It caught Alina's attention, so she started to read it carefully. The handwriting also belonged to Intimia.
The handwriting.
The handwriting. Someday, I will die. And I hope that I can die on the battlefield fighting with dark critters. As the founder of the Arbor Ranger system and its first leader, it is my destined end. I'm sorry about that. I want to do a lot more for fellow Arbor Rangers. I want to witness the end of darkness, the day when our civilization is revived. At the same time, I don't feel any regret, because the Arbor Rangers have shown me hope. As long as we persevere, that day will eventually come. That's what light is. The sun sets today and rises tomorrow. I'm not saddened by the fact that I will eventually die. On the contrary, it ignites my spirit and determination. I am not the conservative illuminator that others may think I am. Because we're not fighting not against just dark critters or darkness, but against destiny itself. It can be said that we live in an endless cycle of suffering, with the chaotic tide of dark critters resembling the senselessness of our existence. And I hope that the resistance led by me can lead the other illuminators to perceive a faint glimmer of meaning. The dignity of life can transcend the hardships themselves. The dignity of life. Alina found it hard to understand the meaning of the sentence.
That was lovely, though.
But sometimes I feel a surge of fighting spirit rising with me. Looking at these records, I feel as if Madame Intimia was standing right in front of me and speaking to me.
Aww.
Speaking of which, I can imagine how Spectrica and Lura would laugh at me. Now, Lura has went into seclusion in the depths of the forest, while Spectrica was appointed by Miss Flame to take charge of Starshard Beacon. But parting is not dreadful, for we all eventually face death. Death. I never thought someone could mention that word so lightheartedly. I will fight till my last moment. Whoever sees this notebook, I hope you can continue to resist. Till the day when light befalls upon this land again, Intimia Dawnlight.
Wow.
Alina put down the notebook, stood up, and gazed in the direction of the Hall of Dawnlight. Maybe it was because Bonfia is still there. There were still lights shining in the hall. It seemed like they were guiding Alina's way in the darkness. Huh? What's that ticking?
Oh!
Huh? The alarm clock? Alina took out the alarm clock given by Bonfia and was surprised to see that the hands of the clock had begun to move again. It suddenly works! Yuya, that untrustworthy swindler that always sells problematic products.
Wait, I'm just thinking of like that meme that was like, died 2024, born 2024, welcome back, Intimia Dawnlight. But it's Alina now.
Died 2024. Born 2024, welcome back, Captain of the Arbor Rangers and Intimia Dawnlight.
Yeah.
I can only make do with this one for now. Alright, time to go home. Alina stretched lazily and walked towards her residence.
That was really good.
Due to its mystical aura and ability to heal one's soul, Fog Ocean Seremban was so sought after amongst prominent illuminators that it almost became a fad. At those big family gatherings, illuminators would often take out a Fog Ocean Seremban, letting the healing mist fill the room, and the party would be very cordial. However, there are many illuminators, mainly the Arbor Rangers, who hate the plant because breathing it feels like avoiding responsibilities. I like this side story. Both Rose Crown Beacon and Toast to Wine had been adapted into vaults. I don't think that's the correct word, but
Yeah, no, clinics?
clinics. Many refugees were receiving treatment here.
She has been stabilized and her life is not at risk anymore. Take these pills on time and she'll recover.
It was already late night, but Pyrrha was still checking on the patients.
Can you move your legs? Good. You've recovered a lot and should be able to walk on your own before the end of the week, so don't worry.
I just couldn't express how grateful I am to you, Miss Crystal.
Miss, have you ever rested recently? You've been so busy. It's okay. Don't worry about me. Your health is the priority.
Yuria? I'll take over your shift so you can get some rest.
Thank you, Classica. Phew.
Pyrrha sat down to next to one of the
One spar counter.
The once bar counter and rubbed her forehead.
So what sent you here at midnight? You're not sleeping?
I haven't seen you for a long time. I really missed you.
Oh, that's a pretty sickening line.
After going through so many incidents, I find it hard to fall asleep. Besides, Pyrrha.
Not Alina PTSD. Oh. What?
Alina stared at Pyrrha for a few seconds without saying a word.
What on earth is wrong with you? You've been acting strange for no reason ever since you came back.
Sheesh. Well, in fact, I had a dream.
A dream?
Yeah. Alina lowered her voice and told everything she encountered after entering Dreamland before she lost her
Oh.
breath.
Oh, the stream, not the stream, but like the share screen cut out on my end for a bit.
Oh,
Can
is
you
it back?
look at the yeah, it's back, but can you look at the history for a sec? Okay, okay. I got it.
Alright.
That's never happened before. Interesting. I can't believe those things existed in Dreamland. There are many seriously injured illuminators in a coma here in the clinic. Could it be that they've also entered the Dreamland?
That's possible. But we still don't know what the exact reason that causes one to enter another's dream.
If only we could figure out a solution to cope with dreamsomnia.
I've heard that term in my dream. Maybe it requires the Illuminator in a dream to struggle hard enough to wake up. But that dream looks super real. I woke up from that dream and was surprised by the harmony we shared. I'm not very used to that, you know?
Are you? If you're itching for a quarrel, I suggest that we go outside to avoid disturbing the patients in Sister Classica.
It's not what I meant.
It's like you want to fight? We can...
Just that I realized why I always picked on me in my dream after I woke up. I'm sorry for not keeping my promise.
It's nothing. Soon after we arrived in Rosecrown Beacon, the activity of dark critters became more frequent. Since then, there has been less contact between beacons. It'd be very risky for you and I at the time to go to Starshard Beacon.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to keep my promise and I totally forgot about it. I'm really sorry, Puria. You helped me so much. I was able to pass the Arbor Ranger entrance test because of you as my partner.
Oh, I guess that, when you asked me about that, that was nothing. Anyway, you saved me first. I owe you for making me what I am, Alina. Even if you've forgotten what you said. I do want to see Starshard Beacon with my own eyes, but I have no extra energy for that at the moment.
I see. Is everything alright in Rosecrown Beacon?
Good or bad as it might be, it's better than those beacons that have been eroded by the Dark Critter Tide, I suppose. All Brita has been thinking is to slay dark critters, so she let me take the helm and manage the internal affairs. If my sisters knew what I've become, they might be very pleased. Although I'm not the captain of the Arbor Rangers, I'm now someone in charge of something.
Oh, yeah. I remember that her sisters died a few years ago.
Oh.
In my heart, Puri is still a little girl under her sister's control, but she's actually grown much faster than me. Am I the only one who's been lingering in the past?
Alina.
Yeah?
After going through so many ups and downs with Fancia and Dreamland, have you figured it out?
Figured out what?
Why on earth do you want to be an Arbor Ranger?
To eliminate dark critters, dispel darkness, and bring light to the whole of Elixirland. Doesn't that sound reasonable enough?
Is that really the case? Then why did you find Fancia repeatedly and make her your partner in your dream?
That's because
Fancia took a detour, but she was my friend. Of course, she still is, and always will be. As for your promise to me, you can see it as a little joke. It doesn't matter. But if you sometimes dream too unrealistically like you used to do with Fancia, you'll put yourself and her in danger.
I don't get it.
Alina, guilt always finds its way to you. And it always becomes the reason why you do things. You know what I mean. Damn. Damn! The hard read.
I'm going back to sleep.
I must be too tired. I can't believe I said such things to you. I really need to get some rest. Good night.
Okay. Good night. Alina left the clinic, her footsteps slightly heavy.
She left.
At hearing Puria's words,
Oh,
Fancy stood up
shit.
from behind the counter.
Oh, shit! Thank you, Puria, for not telling her that I'm here. It's nothing. Oh, I just didn't know what to say to Alina just now. You don't have to tell me a reason. You two have been through a lot, and naturally, you will have mixed feelings. Yeah, I want to apologize to you. I used to hate you a lot, which was reflected in me and Alina's dream. She told me that in your dream, Alina and I had a terrible relationship. Was it related to the Arbor Ranger entrance test she and I participated in together? Yes. I envied you two a lot. I wasn't able to become an Arbor Ranger, so deep down, I started to hate you who partnered with her. But you know, I didn't want to be an Arbor Ranger at all. I just wanted to do Alina a favor. I know, but I just couldn't control myself, so I want to say sorry. No need. We are responsible for our choices, not our thoughts. I'm really glad that you chose to leave light pollution and come home, Fancia. Thank you, Puria. Speaking of which, what did those words you told her in the end mean? Something unrealistic about her? I shouldn't be the one who reveals the answer to you. From what I know about Alina, now that you two have reconciled and started fighting shoulder to shoulder, she'll tell you, sooner or later. Is that so? Fine, I think asking too many questions would bother you, so I'll stop asking. Huh, you're considerate as ever. No, Puria. You're the one who's always been considerate. You wanted to be a doctor instead of an Arbor Ranger or the head of a beacon, but you still chose to shoulder that responsibility for everyone else. Am I doing the right things? Is reality starting to get better? Daydreaming again, are you? Fancy a dream. Oh. That's something you like to do since childhood. You would make me a cup of herb tea to cheer me up back then. Yes, Pyria, in my memory, distant as she might seem, has always been gentle. The one in my dream was completely made of Alina's memory, plus some personal feelings of mine. You want a cup of that now? But aren't herbs extremely rare now? It wouldn't hurt if you just want a cup of tea. Come. Alina has been a bad storyteller, missing all kinds of details. I'd like you to tell me what you two encountered in the dreamland. Okay. Oh, I remember you and I had a private conversation in the dream. I'm pretty sure that she didn't tell you that. No way! What did I say to you? Come, I'll make some tea, and we have plenty of time for the story part. That was cool. Oh, man.
Alright, let's do this mission real quick.
Okay.
It is getting a little bit late, but...
You don't think we can push through just to the last ones and do the crucial plot next week?
We could. I don't know how much time these next ones are going to take, so but I want to do this one now because it's cool.
Okay.
Dream carnation can be eaten, as well as made into dyes and materials. Its diversity comes mainly from the fact that this plant has a very good growth potential. Specifically, depending on the growing region, watering nutrients, and even the illuminator's light, it can have a great impact on the mature plant and produce a wide range of traits, such as large leaves, large flowers, multicolors, large fruits, straight poles, short poles, and other traits adapting to different needs.
So why did her needs make her short?
Her need is her desire, is her need to still see herself as young now that she's the oldest person in the world.
Oh, I see.
Society collapsed and she was the only person alive. I'm like, oh no. I didn't get to enjoy my youth. What is this?
Oh.
I don't actually know. I'm making that up.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
You know, just like how I made up the story about Sakataro.
Oh, yeah. And you were right.
I wasn't even intending it to be that. I was just like, dude,
you
imagine
were right.
if it was this. That'd be hilarious.
And then I was like, wait. And then Cece was like, guess what?
Guess what?
You've nailed it. See, I told you. You like, I know you like have mixed feelings about Umi Neko, but the way you think is like exactly whatever the fuck is going on with its internal logic. So like, seriously.
It was all of her because I was trying to remember like exactly what the reaction was. It wasn't like a sense of dread. It was like, how can this be?
She was shocked. Yeah, exactly.
This is proof that magic is real. So I was like, what if it was just Sakataro? There he is.
Yep.
That would be proof that magic is real if she's under the assumption that he's one of the guys.
Like I said, you know exactly how this works. Somehow, innately.
Although a lot of the solutions to the questions like that were in the test, unironically, I came to those solutions partially because of the way that the question was asked to me. Mm-hmm. Like the one about the door. It was just like, here is the list of the things. I don't know anything else about the chapel. I don't know anything about the storytelling that happened the result of this, and I just have this big list of things that cannot be true, and I'm like, well, if the door couldn't have been opened and there is no other way to get inside, or sorry, if the door couldn't be opened if it was locked and there's no other way to get inside, then by process of elimination, the door was not locked.
See, the fucked up thing there is like I really have to watch that again because I could have sworn like Rosa checked it and it was locked. But if it wasn't locked, that means Rosa's in on it.
That wouldn't even.
Ooh.
I don't know anything about that particular
I
storyline.
know, but I mean,
if Rosa was in on, wait, she was the one who had all the keys.
yes.
Oh, if she was in on it, then that just makes like 90% of the entire process so much easier.
Right?
Like, even though there's the red text that said Rosa didn't give anybody any of the keys after she got them, but like,
Yeah. If she would kill all of them, then she didn't need to give them to anybody.
yeah, you know, she's just like, all right, I'm gonna just kill people. Although, I guess she doesn't even need to be the one doing the killing. She could just keep up the, like...
She just opens and unlocks the doors.
She just keeps up appearances while,
Yeah.
to like, separate the people while whoever that she's working with just kills them off on the side.
Okay, that makes me want to tackle episode 2 again. I really need to, that one was wild because, the murder stuff was very rapid fire and very overwhelming, like on purpose. Beatrice wanted to just like rapid fire Battler with all these things that really make it seem like magic is real and there's no other explanation. And just like wham, bam, bam, one thing after another. So he's got like no time to even like think, let alone mount a proper counterattack.
Yeah.
And so he becomes like her little bitch boy by the end, like crawling around with the naked with the collar, and she's like stepping on him and stuff. Because it all is very overwhelming and high difficulty, and rapid fire. So I need to actually like go through my VODs, pause for a bit as I'm going through this and like, collate the information. Because the one thing about the test is they don't write out what happened.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is on purpose.
If you don't have
because people are
like,
lying.
I only have the red text to go off, so I'm just like,
yeah.
Well, this is my entire basis for argument.
Yeah, but what you're saying, especially like the ones you just hit on, I'm like, I think I could actually make a thing now. Thanks, Dan. I just have to go back and really look, but this is inspiration. I'm like, I should work on episode 2 before next Thursday,
Yeah. Or like, the instant that she was like, all right, repeat after me. Battler Ushiromiya is Sumu's son. And I'm just like,
yeah.
bruh.
I really feel like you nailed that one.
Like, they picked that up, I'm like, wow. They really are just gonna do this. And he's just too stupid to realize. This is like I have two major problems with Uminaku no Nunaku no Korani. One is the premise, and then the other one is Battler is such a fucking idiot.
Well, hey, maybe
the worst part is he's not
Dan,
even a consistent idiot.
Dan, the thing is, if you were the main character instead of Battler, that thing would be like 2 episodes long max instead of 8. We wouldn't have nearly as much story. So
this is partially true, yeah. But like, and this is kind of like one of those weird things about like, I'd been thinking about kind of like my perspective on what I've seen of it, and it's like, it doesn't feel like a mystery story, right? Like AI the Somnium File feels like a mystery story. You are given a mystery at the start, events happen as a direct result of characters learning more about the mystery, and in the end, the mystery gets solved as a result of all of the things, leading to the next, to the next, one clue leading to the next, to the next, to the next. Umineko doesn't feel like that. It feels like a series of puzzles that are just presented at you. I've used, like, you can use, certain parts from other parts of the story to kind of, like, figure out what the puzzle is supposed to be and all that kind of stuff. But, like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's like a full, or at least the puzzle, like, the actual murder mystery part gets in the way of the story that's being told outside of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess I might have a slightly different perspective on it, but I do know what you mean. Like, sometimes they're going over the mystery bits, and I wish they got back to the character bits, or the other way around.
Like the actual solution of any of the chapters isn't really relevant to what is happening to them.
What if it is, though?
They're kind of separate things.
But maybe it's not.
Well, it kind of is, cause it's like
I mean, there's stuff we don't know yet.
It feels disconnected to me. It doesn't feel like that to my mind.
No, for sure. I think for me, it does feel a little disconnected, but I think the reason I find it fascinating is because I've never played a game like this. Like, I've played the, like, DS things, and I've played some more like hardcore visual novels that Umineko is, like, closer to. But there's usually some kind of player interaction.
Yeah.
Like branching paths and stuff like that. But this one is legitimately like, there is one thorough line. You simply proceed. You can check some notes. You can check some reference materials, but you're just going in one straight line. And if you want to, you can turn your brain off and consume the entire thing passively. Like, I already know that people have done that.
Yeah, it's just...
But the way it invites you to think is, like, a completely different way for, like, players and, like, the game dev to interact than I've ever seen before. Yeah. And I thought that was really fascinating.
Yeah. It got kind of going back to comparing it to AI. It's kind of like the difference between, like, the game, when Eva Beatrice turns directly to the camera and says, "Everyone is dead. However, there is someone here pointing a gun at Nanjo. How is this possible?" versus, like, yeah, the sync machine works kind of like an egg. You open the shell and you can bring the yolk from one eggshell to the other. And that's how you get to experience the other dreamer's somnium. And I'm like, so this can be used to swap bodies, right? Anybody else could just read that. And I'm just like, so this could be used to swap bodies, right? This is how this murder system is working, right?
No, see, Dan, this is why you're special, because that's Uchikoshi being cheeky, but I'd say probably the vast majority of people who played I did not immediately come to that conclusion.
Yeah, but, like, he's not asking you to piece that together. That is just a bit of lore that, if you think on it, suddenly it recontextualizes reconceptualizes the entire plot, knowing the context that, like, okay, this murder on the first Twilight was actually not a sealed room because the door wasn't locked in the first place, doesn't help you know who the murderer is, outside of, like, whoever opened the door was also in on it. It doesn't change.
In episode 1, there was a bit of tracking alibis and stuff, like who was where when.
But, like, the actual, like, individual closed rooms, solving them is separate from, like, both the narrative of, like, within the actual chapters, and also, like, the meta narrative of, like, why is Battler having this game against Beato in the first place? What is her goal here?
Yeah.
Why is she asking him specifically to figure out who she is? What does she desire out of this?
I feel like there's a reason for it, but when it's first presented to you, it does feel disjointed. But I think maybe there's probably more going on in terms of, like, why are there locked rooms at all?
Yeah,
why is
like,
she using this as a way to convince you that magic is real? Stuff like that.
Even in this game, like, just the little
Why is
details
she trying to
where you're
convince
like,
you magic is real?
the little details of, like, oh, look, hey, look at all of these little bits of foreshadowing that you don't realize are foreshadowing that the fact that this is a dream and in reality things are very different.
I mean, Umi Neko, like, when I was doing episode 2, I was seeing people's minds get blown in real time about stuff that they were seeing again for the first time, and I'm just like, what? But they can't tell me what the fuck they're just realizing.
Just a lot of, just like, you know, it just kind of, it feels, solving the I guess the better comparison is that, like, solving the actual closed room murders feels just like the combat stages in this. They're not the story, but they're there.
Yeah.
The issue is that, like, they're presented as though they are the same thing, which they are not.
Okay. I think I see what you're saying. They're kind of like the escape rooms in 999. Or the Somnia in the Somnium Files.
Yeah, they're just like, you know, along
like,
doing
arguably
them,
the Somnia
are
very important to the plot, but, like, the actual gameplay of, like, going around and messing with timies and stuff like that.
It's like, oh man, I gotta figure out how to min-max my timies so that I can make it to the end of this. This has no bearing on the visual storytelling of being in the fucking murder zone, recreating all of the first killings
Oh, you haven't played Aini. That's literally what you do in Aini.
Yeah.
For, like, every murder, you like go into VR and do, like, VR scene reconstruction.
Amazing. Speaking of bits of the story that don't exactly fit in with the rest of the story because it's gameplay, we're about to go fight a dragon!
What?
On a mountain near Rosecrown Beacon. It was also known as the Whispering Mountain because the wind passed through it always sounded like someone was whispering.
Stella's got the mega zoomies. I was seeing if it was picking up.
It was not.
The mission instruction says this is the place. But I never knew there was a mine here before. Where's our girl? Where's Guardia?
It said that these were tunnels used for stone mining during the construction of Rosecrown Beacon and Greedharmid Beacon. After the beacons had been established, the tunnels were quickly sealed off. Fancy and Alina came here for an Arbor Ranger mission. According to an illuminator of Green Hermit Beacon, recently there's been a huge dark critter appearing from the tunnels attacking the beacon.
Eliminating a troublemaker, huh? It's indeed a standard Arbor Ranger mission.
Very standard. Cheer up! This time, this mission was personally assigned to us by Madame Bonfia.
Really? She appointed you, the captain of the Arbor Rangers, to finish this yourself?
Yes. According to Madame Bonfia, many Arbor Rangers tried to hunt down this targ critter before. The best they could do is just repel it temporarily, but they never completely eliminated it.
Oh, is it that powerful?
Yeah. That's why Madame Bonfia called it a veteran dark critter.
What does that mean?
I can't believe the dragon would have gone to the Colosseum.
Oh man.
I understand it as being experienced in battle and very powerful. Oh, and the Arbor Rangers who tried slaying it even gave it a name, the Dragon.
Dragon.
They say that the whispers often heard from the Whispering Mountains are its roars.
This is getting more scary. This is also starting to sound like The Hobbit. If we fail, will there be some small animals carrying us away?
Monster Hunter reference.
Oh, funny.
Don't worry. We have what they call a tacit agreement, right? We can definitely defeat it. Yeah, and then the in the little test, there's like the part 2 of the test, and there's a couple questions that are like kind of open ended, and like 3 out of the 5 questions are like, why is this a writing technique that was employed? And I'm like, you tell me, fuckers. This is literally the reason I'm the hater of the stream. Because I have this exact question since day 1.
It's so dark here.
Looks like there's something up ahead.
Wow! Is that the dragon's roar? This is a cool looking area. I like the sparkles.
Hey, if you remember how I was...
Like they're in a geode. Whoa!
That dragon seems familiar.
I've seen it in my dream while searching for the ore.
Remember when we had to run away from it?
Yeah.
Maybe it is... Watch out, it's coming!
But now we fight it! Alina, look! It's breaking the wall!
Then we have no choice but to make our last stand here. Let's do it, Fancia!
Okay. Oh, hell yeah. It's all covered in ore? Amazing. Alina thinks it's cute. I'm not quite sure what you mean by cute. Oh no, Alina would have been one of those dragon kids. Alina would totally be one of those kids who was like obsessed with Aragon. And then was like completely baffled when the sequels turned out to be bad. Ooh, almost got crushed. Cool. Yep. This is cool.
Phase transition.
That's neat. Whoa, it's chasing you. Smacking it down. donut.
Whoop.
Get him.
And he's gone!
Woo! GG. 3 minutes flat.
Why is there a dragon here? Well, they made the model, so we gotta make use of it.
Hee hee hee. Did we defeat it?
Look, the ores on its body are shattered.
Strange. Since it appeared in the dream, it means that we have a memory about it. Have you seen it before, Alina?
Negative. After becoming captain of the Arbor Rangers, someone reported to me about the Dark Critter in the mine, but I didn't have time to learn the details.
Could Lumina be the reason? Did the dragon already exist back in her time? Or maybe someone else entered the dream as well?
What are you looking at, Fancia?
These fallen ores look different, like I've seen them somewhere. Are they the Starlit Stones?
Which means that many Illuminators must have perished here.
But why are the stones attached to the Dark Critter? That's morbid.
Yep. Fancy and Alina returned to the main beacon and reported the details of the mission to Bonfia.
Great. We finally defeated the dragon. You're truly worthy of being the captain of the Arbor Rangers and her partner. Happy Pride Month. I feel a bit uneasy.
Madam Bonfia, please look at this.
This is a blue ore. Is there something special about it?
It fell from that dragon. It looks similar to the Starlit Stones found near Starshard Beacon.
You mean the condensed soul, right? The defeated dragon had many of these stones. Could it be that the Dark Critter also uses Illuminator's soul power? Dark Critters devour the Illuminators to gain strength. But this one is strange. It combined the souls with the ores rather than storing them in its body. So even if it's defeated, its power won't disappear. That might be the reason why the Arbor Rangers defeated it many times, and the dragon kept reappearing.
Bonfia stared at the ore in her hand.
Is this what Spectrica used to activate the beacon cannon?
Since it's a relic of deceased illuminators, we'll preserve it carefully.
Maybe one day we can use it wisely, but not now. Maybe we can do further research after addressing the trouble we're facing right now.
Alright.
Ooh, this is gonna be juicy.
This explanation for the flower is great. Furthermore, Snow Lotus is pruned not by direct cutting, but by grafting a small flower such as Myosotis onto the cut stem. Researchers observed that cutting one of the two stems of Snow Lotus would cause the other to wilt suicidally, as if it were grieving too much. Smaller flowers that require very little nutrients must be grafted while giving the plant the illusion that both stems are growing, so that the Snow Lotus on the other stem can bloom fully.
That's so...
So, as a reminder,
concerning.
the reason why it can't bloom on its own, the reason why they want to do that is because naturally it will not grab enough nutrients to bloom.
Oh.
So you have to do this in order to get the flower to bloom as completely.
Oh. Ooh. I'm scared.
It's okay. She just gets to interact with her niece, sister,
Aw.
daughter thing.
Aw.
Rita was a little bored during night duty. She sat down on the edge of the outpost. Fabrica also followed and sat beside her. The wind blowing through the outpost carried a hint of rose fragrance. The two of them sat in silence, not saying a word for a long while. Isn't it boring to stay here with me? Go find Fancy and the others. Fabrica shook her head.
Boredom, not perceived. Want to interact more with Brita.
Rita suddenly stared intently at Fabrica. I think you look like my younger self. You're nothing like me.
Agreed. Miss Cold seems dissatisfied with me. Reasons unknown.
Dissatisfied with you. That's inevitable. She hates me so much. She insisted on creating an illuminator that resembles me just to have it around and give herself a hard time.
Meaning unknown. Meaning of existence. What is it? Meaning of existence. What is it?
Don't suddenly enter a repeat mode.
Otherwise. Fabrica. Meaningless.
The two of them fell into silence once again. Meaning. Only a child would be so obsessed with pursuing this kind of thing. Rita stood up, gazing up at the dark sky. Everything is meaningless. You just haven't understood it yet.
Illuminator made tools have functions. Artificial illuminators should also serve sorts of purposes.
Are you tangled up in this? Whether it's artificial or not, does it really matter? Rita pointed her finger at Fabrica's head. Aren't all illuminators created by plants? It's not because neither I want to be born, nor someone wants me to exist. It's just some unfair and irrational thing that we call fate.
I think it was just like if neither and because were switched, it'd be a little smoother. I think that's it. Fate, an abstract concept.
But besides fate, what else can I explain all this? Fate brought me to meet my sister in Rose-Crowned Beacon. She had just been brought back to the beacon, frail but curious about everything. The leader of the beacon said that our lights had great compatibility, and it became my responsibility to take care of her. Thus, I gained a family. Fate also led me to a powerful partner. She was young and resolute, always guiding everyone through tough times. She was so excellent that no one else in Rose-Crowned Beacon could keep up with her, except me. And so I gained a partner. Maybe not have been the kind of friends who shared everything, but we always cooperated well in crucial moments, and thus we protected our beacon. Eventually, my partner became the captain of the Arbor Rangers. He started protecting the entire Elixirland. We gained recognition, honor, and happiness. I gained everything, without any reason, only for fate to take it all away, leaving me with nothing in the end.
Fate. Can it change?
Is that what you think of after hearing my depressing life story? Brita smiled bitterly.
Fabrica wasn't born by chance. To carry the hopes of Miss Cold, Fabrica was created. Want to find meaning. Want to help Brita and Miss Cold change fate.
You're quite stubborn.
Stubborn, unclear meaning. Fabrica shouldn't have a sub-illuminator personality besides the system. Fabrica has no soul, so unafraid of death.
No soul.
All actions follow the commands of Miss Cold.
Then why did you come along with them?
Falling in battle lost all value. And curiosity. Want to understand Vancia, Alina, and Brita.
I'm not like them. Those two little girls are still holding on to unrealistic hopes. Especially Fancia. She even turned against light pollution? Isn't she afraid of getting caught by the Arbor Rangers on the spot? I don't even know what she was thinking. Given the current situation, does she still think there's a possibility for reconciliation between the main beacon and light pollution? And Alina, she's still the same, always spouting all those righteous nonsense. The most foolish thing is, she actually genuinely believes it. She's just incredibly naive.
Vancia, Alina are seeking meaning. Have found the answer, maybe.
I like the maybe.
Yeah.
No, there won't be an answer. Just as I said, everything is meaningless. We came into this world because of the unreasonable fate, and we're forced to find ways to survive out of fear. Fear that our souls would vanish. Everyone, including you, has a soul. Rita said affirmatively, pointing to Fabrica's chest.
Artificial without.
No? You definitely have one. Just like how plants have flowers. Otherwise, why would I even talk to you? You think I would have conversation about life with a stone?
Talking to yourself.
So, kid, I want you to think for yourself whether it's worth pushing yourself so hard for others. Use your soul to think. What's the point of struggling in this world?
Fabrica understands a bit.
So, see, none of us are anything special, actually. Vincia, that idealist, told me to think about what I really care about. But what difference would my thoughts make to this world? Just an ordinary illuminator. It'll keep going on like this, unaffected by any of us. Even if Illuminator civilization goes extinct, the world will still go on.
The Illuminator civilization has its end confirmed.
It's like, even if this happens, the world will keep going. Fabrica, confirmed end of the world real!
The end of civilization. The spirit of Illuminators still lingers.
Now you're starting to talk big as well, huh? Is it because you've been around Fancy and Elena for too long?
Talk big. Cannot understand. Maybe. Brita still holds hope in your heart.
Me? And you really think highly of me?
Fabrica, expressing myself not accurately. But Fabrica, emotion detected, recorded in numerical form precisely. Brita, Illuminator civilization, hopes for continuation.
Brita hopes for continuation. I want continuation after Fated Circle next. Genie, I really did create something annoying.
Fabrica, feeling disliked, hurt.
Hey, I didn't mean it like that.
Fabrica, not hated.
No, I mean, did dislike you at the beginning. I mean, who would like themselves?
Brita, you need therapy.
Denied.
Denied. Loving yourself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Damn! Fancia's like, love yourself.
You should love yourself now.
Now. Fabrica's like I got like all the therapy pre-installed on my hard drive. Genia needed it real bad.
Who would like themselves? Everyone. Thumbs up at the camera. Who showed you this weird secondhand literature? I told Genia long before to be selective about what she reads.
Search for the content inputter. Result, Madam Spectrica. Oh, right. Yeah, Spectrica's like, love yourself.
Love yourself now.
I could see Spectrica being like that.
Well, then she really needs to upgrade her taste.
Noted. Madam Spectrica needs to upgrade her taste.
Your recording system is quite selective. Aren't you doing it on purpose?
On purpose. Cannot understand.
Brita sat down again at the edge of the outpost. One would witness all kinds of weird things if she lives long enough. Kind of strange talking to myself, but besides the similar appearance, you're nothing like me.
Denied. Miss Cold shares memories with Fabrica, shapes the sub-illuminator personality. Memory source, Miss Cold.
That's just how she remembers me from her own memories.
Miss Cold cherishes Brita.
What she cherishes is just me in her memory. Otherwise, she wouldn't have turned to light pollution. Virginia, I'm probably already dead to her.
Miss Genia wants to see Brita.
Would she tell you that?
Denied. Emotional detection more accurate than words. Miss Genia wants to see your current self.
Probably to kill me. Maybe that's not bad.
Fabrica cannot understand.
I don't know if I still have the right, but... if there needs to be someone who stops Genia from making more mistakes, then I'll be the one.
Agreed. So she is coming along to the raid. Ah!
Alright then, let me do some more Arbor Rangers duty things with you. Even though it may be meaningless, there are things that we just have to do. As for the rest, we can think about it once everything is over. If it ever ends.
Interesting. Yeah, that definitely feels like a lead up to the next bit of plot.
Brita like, life is meaningless. Nihilism, derogatory. Fancy like, nihilism, affectionate. What would the petals of the abyss licorice look like?
The last start.
Mm-hmm.
The last one. Alina notwithstanding.
We've got one Alina side story after sometime after this main story chapter thing. But
Otherwise,
after this,
it's just Nox the station.
we're done. There will be no more side story after this. We're gonna finish this series, and then next week we just go main story until we've beaten the game. And then I'll have to, once I've beaten the game as well, I'll have to go back as well before doing all of the other endings. There's another ending when you lose to the actual fight against Lumina.
I feel like we saw that, didn't we?
No, we saw the one where we lose to Mildia.
Oh, okay.
It's a slightly different one.
All right.
Fairly short, but it is an ending that I forgot that I wanted to show off. So.
Right.
Fancy, Alina, and Fabrica opened the door to Noxustasia's laboratory. This duo still could not believe that this sage, though unfamiliar, who helped them a lot, had passed away. place looks so desolate.
It seems that Madame Noxastasia had no assistants and didn't work with illuminators in the workshops.
We should let others mourn for her after we settle our scores with light pollution.
Detected traces left by Noxastasia shade.
Yeah, she stayed here for so long, after all. In my memory, whenever Madame Noxastasia arrived at the main beacon, she would lock herself in the lab and wouldn't come out.
Although she looks like she doesn't care about any side of research, she actually contributed a lot to the community. She hasn't had a chance to organize these documents and devices yet.
It was too sudden. Spectrica, a bastard. This time we'll settle the score with her once and for all.
Madam Spectrica, why would you... Careful. Obstacles ahead.
Yeah? Alina unknowingly bumped into something, and a beam of light rose from the middle of the room, transforming into a silhouette.
Hologram! Let's
Greetings,
go.
unregistered guests.
I should have known she'd have something like this.
What? Madame Noxastasia? Aren't you...
Negative. No life form detected. Huh, it doesn't look real.
What you're seeing is the shadow of Noxastasia Shade.
Or one could say her shade.
Heh. A projection illusion created by utilizing a hologram. Like the light show during the Beacon Construction Festival?
she's like the Hatsune Miku concert?
Alina tentatively reached out and touched the Noxastasia in front of her, confirming that it indeed lacked physical presence.
How can it speak if it's just an illusion?
This projection was designed primarily to assist in communication. My true identity is an avatar of Noxastasia's Shade. I possess her thought patterns and assist her in scientific research. Dev code...
Chat GPT 10
NRETPGPAHC. Are you casting a spell or what?
So that was a Chat GPT joke. Well, let me see. You're an artificial machine that can speak, right?
Yes. That means Fabrica is an artificial illuminer.
Yes, but it speaks much more fluently than Fabrica. Degree of fit. High.
My conversation model has undergone extensive training, reaching a level that is equivalent to an illuminator with a general education background. She's just like me for real. Unauthorized visitor, please enter the password. Otherwise, it will be considered illegal trespassing.
What does it mean by password? Preset combination of characters. Gain access permission.
So, like the Arbor Ranger password? Why would we have that?
Madame Noxastasia must be the only one who knows.
I'll just give it a try.
No!
The password is 12345 Wrong.
Hey, don't try blindly. This is the technology left by Madame Noxastasia, and we should report it to Madame Bonvia.
You're right. This projection is really amazing.
Yes! I was about to be like, Fabrica, hack it. And now she's like, hacker mode. Initiated. Yeah!
Suddenly, Fabrica spoke up. Then a gleam appeared in her eyes. Fabrica? What are you doing?
Target. Conversation model. Requesting open source sharing. Denied sharing. Only hack. Although I don't understand, I have the feeling that you're committing a crime.
Alert! Alert! Illegal submission detected. Defense system initiating. Launching projection. The illusion of Noxastasia transformed into a white light covering the entire room. What on earth happened?
I have no idea, but get ready anyway. Oh, damn. Wild.
We're gonna have such a great time.
Oh, boy. We get an Noxastasia fight anyway, even though she's dead?
This scenery. Have we been transferred to somewhere else?
No, I think we're still in the lab. Right, Fabrica? Confirmed. Projection ahead. The Alligans.
This is a projection too. It looks so real.
Auto defense system with projection.
Also, just you saw how quickly she reacted. It was like enemy, bam,
Yeah.
immediate.
Careful for battle.
I mean, can't you just stop cracking the code?
Processing cannot undo. Seems like a battle is inevitable, Alina.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh. She's got dark critters in there too?
I'm not entirely sure why these ones are... This is the introduction of these ones. All they do is stand there and heal everything else around. But, like, the healing actually isn't quite strong enough if you're just focusing a mob. So it's just like...
It's kind of easy.
I kind of like the idea of, like, support units as a thing that you have to deal with, but it doesn't quite work in this context, unfortunately. This is funny.
Keep yanking her, and she's like, nope.
That's not how that's not how physics works. I know why it's happening, but that's not correct. Ah. Did I need to do that? No, but it's funny. That is my entire reasoning. It's all that matters. It's funny.
Uh-oh.
It's fine.
This is pretty long.
This is a long stage.
Noxastasia wasn't fucking around with the defense system.
And that's it.
Ooh.
I did do some messing around, so I could have done it faster, but this is one of the longer stages in general.
98%, 99%, 100%. Hacking complete. Edge system access granted.
Great. Now shut down these shadows. They really hurt.
System shut down.
It's finally over. Look at all the trouble you've caused us, Fabrica. Fancy it, say something.
Educating Fabrica is not solely my responsibility, right?
I'm usually busy with work. I don't have the time to educate her.
So what? You're always busy. Do you know how exhausted I am?
On the side,
The cliched argument.
Fabrica
Her
completely
parents.
ignored the cliched argument in front of her and blinked.
Partial information is ready for access. Found the thing you need, Fabrica? Negative. Partial memory backup accessed.
Memory backup? Are you referring to Madame Noxastasia's memory?
Can we? Replay with projection system. Ooh, the feeling of the memory. Because even a long gone illuminator can establish a connection with me? That is pretty wild.
You already have a connection with a long-gone illuminator. And another illuminator who had never existed. And another illuminator who's also dead. Your sister, Intimia.
Teenia.
Tenia. This shouldn't be surprising to you.
I am getting a bit eepy. I will say.
Alright, we can finish this
What do you
up
think?
then. There's enough story here, and some of it will be relevant as we get around to it. So
Ooh. Okay, so it'll feed into
it won't
the
feed
main
quite as
plot.
cleanly as I'm making it out to be right now, but
But it's at least nice.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually kind of a nice one. I really like this. I never used it on my previous playthrough, but this is actually a nice one to have.
Good going, wish ya.
I could probably take this one off, honestly. Oh, this is cute. Where was the one that I was looking for, though? Ew. The shield breaking power is real nice. Also, I still love the fact that
He turns into the doll.
he's the doll one. It's so cute. Also, there's different expressions in the backgrounds for these.
Oh yeah, this is very interesting.
It's a lot easier to tell with
You know what?
Tania because her face is actually not covered by text.
When I'm making all those list things for this that I keep showing you, I really wish I had accessed all this information because there's no fucking wiki.
Yep. The entire
Ah.
fan base is on the Steam forums, and there is like 4 posts. One of which being a question asked by someone who didn't fully understand the context behind why the true ending is actually a better ending than the other endings.
Isn't that usually what happens?
Yeah, but like in lore, it's presented as something, and she's like, and this person's like, but doesn't that still maintain the status quo? And like, yes and no. I'll explain it when we actually get the ending.
Okay.
But for now, this will do. I'm gonna suffer as I open Firefox and my computer fucking dies.
Hayami's playing Yakuza 0.
Ooh. I'm gonna have a quick look here. Yeah, Hayami's the only one who I'm following right now that's live, so let's go say hi to her.
Yay!
My boy has decided to come back up on my lap.
I guess we'll see if we still want to do this while we're doing Dawn Trail.
Yep. I'm gonna still probably try and do it. It'll be more of an up to you.
We'll get there when we get there.
Alright, and then I start the raid. There we go, the raid has started. My video of the stream still hasn't loaded, despite all of this, because my computer is made of ass.
Oh.
Also, I'm like 90% sure that fucking Firefox has, or Twitch has absolutely no support for Firefox because, I don't know, just, it feels wrong. It feels like it's not optimized for this browser. Something just seems wrong about it. But, that being said, is raid time. That'll be the end of it for today. And as always, have a good day. Have a good evening. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And, as always, be good.
Good night.
Good night.